Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome. I just totally forgot what I was supposed to say. Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Tuesday, not Wednesday, the 14th of February, 2017. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Let's give them some love. We love you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. We hope you have a great day with your loved ones. And this is episode 230. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We'll love them again. We love you guys, to all our returning viewers. And a big hi to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, we had some people who introduced themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay. Cricket, who is Cricket Rollins from Illinois. Erin, who is Erin Ireland from Illinois.
I wonder if they know each other.
And Danielle, who is Ties That Bind from Minnesota.
Welcome, y'all. We're so glad to have you. Thanks for introducing yourselves. So, Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because you will get a shout out on our next episode and you will be able to participate in all our cows and giveaways.
Yep, we've got a couple new prizes for one of our cows today, and we have a giveaway ongoing. And this episode, you're not going to want to miss a second. We are reviewing the amazing new ebook, Heart on My Sleeve, with 9 amazing designers, some of our favorite designers. And there might be a little bit of a sneak peek reveal at some point during this episode. Don't miss it. So grab your beverage of choice. Today is what's the plural of Tervis? Tervi?
Probably Tervises.
2 Tervises / Tervi of coffee kind of day. So grab your beverage, grab your knitting, and let's get started.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
What is on your needles, Dammy?
I am working on the last of the samples for our new book, Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2, another 7 pattern caffeine inspired knitting collection.
Yes.
So I'm working on the last espresso shot mitt. It's on US 2's 2.75 millimeters, and the yarn is Rusty Ferret Yarns RF Quadruple in the steampunk colorway.
And you are getting close to being done, yes?
Yes.
Way to go. It's the last one that needs to be blocked. But it's the 3rd sample of this because there's 3 different lengths. So my question is, when you finish knitting this, what are you going to knit next?
I don't know.
You're going to need to think on that because you'll want something to take on our travel.
I know.
Okay. I just thought of that while ago. I was like, oh, I wonder what she's going to work on next. All right. Anything else on your needles?
No.
Okay.
So what are you working on?
Okay, well, I have my zigzag blanket going, and this is the 10 stitch zigzag pattern by Frankie Brown. It's on US 4's 3.5 mil needles, and the yarn I'm currently using is
Opal
Sweet and Spicy in the chili colorway. You should have just said it. I think I'm halfway through this stripe. So a stripe is 20 zigzags, and or maybe today is going to be zigzag 10. Anyway, I'm around halfway through with that stripe. And then next up, I'm going to have to show this to you carefully because I had to steal the needles, and then I realized I'm using my new Hiya interchangeable sock needles, and I realized the stoppers I have aren't the right size for this needle cable because they're smaller. They've got smaller screws on them than the ones I have. So I'm going to carefully attempt to show you this. So this is on the Spice Market pattern by Melody Berg. I'm using US 2.5 3 mil needles, and the yarn is Countess Ablaze Lady Persephone sock in the pink one of a kind colorway, and Sarah's Texture Craft Sparkle sock in the Serene Embers, Fairy Brights, Indian Summer, Blossom, and Tranquil colorways. So I am now onto the final, I'm trying to figure out how to show this, final 3rd of the project. So the first third was this, so big chunks of all the contrasting colors, and then the middle is slipped stitches with all the contrasting colors, and then I have just started with the final third of the the shawl pattern. And I might have had it done other than the insane thing of I had to do a project. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, let me tell you about the socks I have on the needles. These are my Shorty Saltwater Taffy socks. Using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern. I'm on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is a homespun house plump merino in the saltwater taffy colorway. So the first sock is done. So what I do is, after the heel, I knit 2.5 inches, and then I bind off in Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and then the cuff just rolls. So they're lovely. So the first one is done, and the second one I am in the middle of the heel. So it too would probably be done, other than I had to cast on something else. So I just decided, when was this, Sunday? Sunday, I decided I need boot cuffs to wear for the photo shoot for the book. Why? I don't know. I just decided. So I'm using the 2-in-1 boot cuffs with buttons and lace pattern by Mary Lise Herve. Is that how you would say that?
I would say Marie-Lise.
Marie-Lise Herve. It's linked in the show notes. I'm using US 2's 2.75 mil and US 2.5 3 mil needles, and I'm using Rico Design Creative Reflection Print in the Blackberry colorway, and with Shropshire Spinners Air Valley Decay in the gray colorway. So I had to modify the pattern because my boots are not as tall as the ones that were in the pattern. And the way this works is, I'm trying to get this all turned. So you do a ribbing that then folds down into your boot. And then it's got kind of a picot edge with some garter stitch rows, and then the bottom needs to be folded up and sewn so that it has the picot on the bottom. So I've done both of that piece, and then I've just started on the other piece, which let me see, how do I best show you this? There we go. So it's got a cable, and it's got a lace pattern, so it makes these points. So this is the first repeat of it. So I'll have all these points, and this is a buttonhole, and there'll be buttonholes that will have these yummy buttons in them. This is sky blue pink designs. I've had these in my stash for a while, and finally a reason to use them. So so the buttons will go on the pink part, and then the gray will button on top of it. So, yeah. So I kind of left everything else alone and have been trying to knit boot cuffs. So, but I just did this first point, right before lunch. It didn't take very long. So hopefully I can get those done and ready to wear for the book photo shoot. And then I can get back to work on my Spice Market and socks. I'm taking socks with me on the trip. I'm not going to take the Spice Market with me. All right, that is everything that's on my needles, including something that probably shouldn't have been, but I did it. So, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our finished projects.
So what did you finish this week, Amy?
I finished another sample for our book, yada yada yada. Finished the baby chino socks. They're on US 3s, 3.25 millimeters, and the yarn was Berry Colorful Yarnings Saturated DK Self-Striping in the baby chino colorway.
So you were knitting a couple of different sizes because my bestie Katie, who did the photo shoot for my first book, is going to be shooting this book as well. And her boys, Noah and Izzy, which we've mentioned before, are going to model them, the baby chino socks. So you were knitting ones in their sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, did you finish anything else?
No. So what did you finish?
I just finished a preemie hat this week. This is number 7 for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. And it was on, I'm sorry, excuse me, I've been drinking coffee. It was on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Woolcraft New Fashion Double Knitting in the maroon colorway. And my second spinning project, and I've used all of it up. I'm not totally in love with how this pom-pom turned out, but it'll work. It's fine. So that is the only thing I finished this week. Let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
And show you. Yummies. Yummies. Tammy, you have a yummy.
Oh, okay. But you were going first.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, the cast of The Great Comet of 1812 recorded their original Broadway cast album. They did the instrumental tracks on Sunday, and yesterday they did all the vocal stuff. And yesterday night they had a thing with like over 500 fans to be on the cast album, singing the large choral parts of it and doing the egg shakers.
Oh, that's right. You told us about that last week, that you wanted to go.
Yeah.
And are you extremely jealous of one of our viewers?
Yes.
Would you like to tell us who you are jealous of?
Librarian Kate 7578.
And why are you jealous of Kate?
Because she is going to see Comet in 4 days.
Ooh. I bet she'll post some pictures for you. And I'm
Can
sure
you send me an egg shaker in the mail?
we probably can get an egg shaker over here.
But not a Comet egg shaker.
Oh.
They're,
Are they special ones?
Yeah, they're red and white, and they have the logo on them in like the alternate color. Like if the egg is red, the logo's in white. And I read a review once. Like the reviewer said there was something inside their egg, but I've not been able to find out what is inside the egg.
Probably beans.
Like, but they said it was something exciting.
Oh.
But it's just like it's an egg shaker.
Okay.
I
Hope
don't
you
know.
have a great time, Kate, at the Great Comet. We're just going to mention this briefly because we will review it next week, but we picked up the new issue of Pom Pom Quarterly. This is Spring 2017, issue 20, and it is lovely, lovely, lovely. I've just barely skimmed through it, but there's several patterns that I'm like, I think I might need that. And hello, I am so in love with this model's hair. How cute is that? Okay, so we will review this next week because we have another book that we're reviewing later in this, I almost said issue, episode. So stay tuned for that next week. Now, Dammy, I think it is time to let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
Let the 7 cats out of the bags. We are going to share with you the very first look at the patterns from Coffee with Cece and Dammy to another 7 pattern caffeine inspired knitting collection.
Ooh.
It's a secret. Only here. Only here. This is the only place you will see them until the release.
March 10th.
Yeah, March 10th. So, shh, don't tell, okay? It's a secret. But I do want to remind you before we start telling you about them that the pre-orders are still going at
coffeewithcc.com.
and those pre-orders end on the 24th of February. So you have 10 days left to pre-order if you want a physical book and or project bag and or a physical book of the first book. So, and you can also pre-order the ebook on Ravelry. So, what we'll do after the 24th is we'll take down the listings, and then whatever extra we have after Edinburgh Yarn Festival, we will relist that in the shop if you would like to purchase. So, don't miss out. All right, Dammy. So we're going to go in the order that the patterns are in the book, and they go from the least difficult to the most difficult. Okay? So, Dammy, would you like to tell us about the very first pattern?
Sure, the very first pattern is one of my patterns. Ooh. Ooh. So these are the baby chino socks, but
I was gonna hold it closer so they can see the stitch.
even though they're called baby chino socks, they come in 6 sizes. 6 sizes, so
From baby to big.
yes.
Yes, 6.
I was going to say, so baby, toddler, child, and adult, small, medium, and large.
Yes.
And the pattern is just a simple textured pattern. It's knit through the back loop in pearl. That's all it is.
So what was the inspiration for this?
A baby chino.
But then how did you interpret baby chino into this stitch pattern?
Well, baby chinos, they have no coffee in them because it's a bad idea to give children coffee. But
It's a bad idea to give Dammy coffee sometimes.
that's just mean.
Not all the time, but sometimes.
All I do when I have coffee is do all the choreography to Balaga. Gosh. But yeah, it's just frothy milk, and so this sort of reminds me of frothy milk. So,
Do you want to tell us about the yarn because
yes,
in this book we have 7 different indie dyers that have dyed yarn for these projects.
yes. So this yarn is from Berry Colorful Yarnings, and it is her saturated DK self-striping base in the baby chino colorway.
It's so pretty.
It's very soft.
So thank you so much, Michelle, for doing that for us. So that is the very first pattern, the baby chino socks. We have the book open over here on the computer so that we can make sure they're in the right order. And the reason, I was just going to say, the reason that because originally baby chino was only going to be the baby toddler child sizes, but our testers, when they started test knitting it, were like, this needs to be in an adult size too, so you added those in.
Yeah.
Okay,
The next pattern is also one of my patterns. Ooh, these are instant coffee socks.
And these were inspired by Jasmine from the Knitmore Girls, because when they reviewed the first book, she was like, if they do a second book, you should do instant coffee. And so, Jasmine, here is your wish.
And so this again is just a simple textured pattern as well. It is sliving stitches.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And so it's quick and easy to make, just like instant coffee.
Yes. And the stitch pattern, how did that inspire you?
It looks kind of like granules of instant coffee. Don't you agree?
Hold it a little closer so they can see. There we go. Okay, and who was the lovely indie dyer who dyed this yarn?
This is Ginger's hand dyed by Jess. It is her Humming DK base in the My Little Pony colorway.
So this was one she already had in stock. So, yeah. It's so fun, but it goes faster because it's a DK base, and so you are knitting on US 3s for that, so that's what makes it go so much faster. All right, so those were Dammy's 2 patterns, and then the other 5 are mine. So first up is the Espresso Campana socks. So an Espresso Campana is an espresso with cream, topped with cream. So for this, I have been inspired by the texture, the foam in the whipped cream that's on top of the Espresso Campana. So it's textured, and so this reminded me of that. Oh, and we didn't say that all of the sock patterns have both toe up and cuff down instructions.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to take a different look if you use like a self-striping, or if you do a true solid. This is a variegated or a tonal or more highly variegated. So it's going to give you a different look depending on what yarn you use. So the yarn for this was dyed by Lola of Third Vault Yarns. This is her Librarian sock base in the Espresso Campana colorway. So it's another textured pattern, and I really, really like it. It's really soft too. Oh, thanks, Lola. Yeah, so that's Espresso Campana. And then after that, sorry, having to scroll, is the Chai Latte socks. Now, Chai Latte is not technically coffee, as well as
I thought it was
Baby Chino and hot chocolate. They're not technically coffee, but they're coffee drinks, coffee shop drinks. So they get to be included. So this is the Chai Latte sock pattern. It was designed especially for self-striping yarn. And it is, I was inspired by the different spices, how they looked, that gave me this idea for this stitch pattern. And this yarn is by Karen of Round Table Yarns. It's her Merlin base in the Archimedes colorway. And so every time your self-striping yarn changes, you change to a different different rows. And so if your yarn has like super thick stripes, it's going to give you a different look than if it has a shorter width of stripe. So yeah, so this was designed especially for self-striping yarn, and I love how it turned out. Okay, so that was chai latte, and then I think this is next. Hold on. Yes, the flat white wrap. So this is one of 2 patterns in the book that is not socks. So this is a massive wrap. It's folded in half here. So this, so if you don't know what a flat white is, it is espresso, and they pour steamed milk over it. And it, because of how they pour it, it makes this design that looks kind of like this. The really cool thing about this is we also included instructions for if you want to make it into a, like a skinnier scarf, or if you want to make it into a cowl. So you can do lots of different things. So this one, the yarn is Little Yellow Ute Crafts Soprano Shawl in the flat white colorway, and we used 200 grams. So this is an 1,000 meter wrap. I just want to wrap it around me because it's so soft. Hold that thought. Oh, yummy. Oh, I like it. Or you could do it like on your, like just off your shoulders around you. So this is the flat white wrap. And I love it. Okay, next up is the hot chocolate with pink marshmallows sock pattern. This, okay, so sorry, I lost my train of thought. So this,
X's and O's.
yes. So when I think of hot chocolate, I think of love. I think of getting hugs and kisses from somebody I love. And so you know that the abbreviation type thing for hugs and kisses is X's and O's. That's what inspired this pattern. So can you see the X's and the O's? So it's a cable pattern that gives you X's and O's. How fabulous is that? So this yarn is Pandia's Jewel Snug in the Cocoa with Pink Marshmallows colorway, because you can't have hot chocolate without pink marshmallows. So I love the little pops of pink all throughout the yarn. That shows it a little better. So this hot chocolate with pink marshmallows. So hugs and kisses. Love, love, love. So there's that. And then the final pattern is the 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, fingerless mitts. So Dammy is wearing, okay, so this pattern, there are 3 different lengths. So she's knitting the 3rd one right here. Oh, sorry, did I scratch you? I'm sorry. So you can knit them either to just past your wrist. You can knit them to like middle of your forearm, and then the final one is like almost your elbow. And what inspired me, because I did 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 3 strands make up, you need 3 strands to make a braid. So this is a braided cable, and there's 3 of them, and then the remainder, hold up this way, is purled, and you work it from the bottom up. And I love them, they're so squishy. The yarn for this is Rusty Ferret Yarns RF Quadruple in the Steampunk colorway, and I need to show them the sock blank.
Oh, you're gonna unroll it.
A little bit. I'm not gonna roll it all the way. So she did a sock blank, and she was like, Cece needs pink because pink, but she did these coffee rings on it. How fabulous is that? I'm hoping there should be enough left of this to do shorty socks for me. We'll see.
Probably not.
If I did toes and heels in another yarn, maybe? We'll see. So that is the final pattern in the book. Oh my gosh. Are you guys excited? Yes, we are. We are so excited. So there are 5 sock patterns, all toe up and cuff down. One includes baby, toddler, child. There is the flat white wrap, and there is the fingerless. We've been working on this for a while, and Dammy has done so much of the work with knitting up all the samples, and yeah, we're just really excited to get to share it with you. So you are such a special part of our lives, you know, the community that we have because of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, that we wanted to share the book with you first, before we share it with the rest of the world. So this is your exclusive sneak peek at the book patterns, and we hope that you like them and there's something that you would like to knit from the book. Again, pre-orders are up at
copywithcc.com.
Yes, so don't miss out. So we will be leaving tomorrow. So the reason we're recording on Tuesday instead of Wednesday is we're taking a train tomorrow to Birmingham, which is where my bestie and her family lives, and we will be shooting the photo shoot for the book on Thursday and Friday. And we're excited. So that is the book. Yay. Okay, do we have anything else to talk about in Yummies?
Nope.
Besides our normal stuff? All right, let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right, and this month is our favorite month of GGK Crafty Pad because it's Alphabet Soup Month. Today, the 14th when we're recording this, is one of 2 days in the month that is not an alphabet letter because there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. So for today, the 14th, your prompt is love. And then for the last day of the month, it's the number 2. But yeah, you just take a look at it. And so like if the prompt was A is for, you would interpret that and post it. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody.
Yay.
Yay. So it's never too late to join in, and don't feel like you have to participate every day. You can do it as often as or as infrequently as you would like. So you just take a look at the prompt for the day, take a photo related to it, interpret it however you wish, and post it. When you post it on Instagram, make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's the way we find your photos. Dammy, we have an event that we'll be attending very soon. It's coming way too fast. Want to tell us about it?
Yes, it is Edinburgh Yarn Festival. We will be vending there on Friday the 10th and Saturday the 11th of March.
Yes. So if you want to know more about Edinburgh Yarn Festival, you can go to edinyarnfest.com. So 2 things we want to tell you. One thing is we will be in booth number G9. G9, that's us, G9. And we are going to be doing a special GGK Crafty Pad edition of for Edinburgh Yarn Festival. So the prompt for that is going to be a very special hashtag that I'm trying to finish that stitch. Hashtag GGKEYF fun. GGKEYF fun. We didn't decide if people could be eligible to win a prize if they're not at EYF. What do you think?
I don't know.
I think we will allow you to be. Yes. And we're going to have at least 2 prizes. So even if you're not at EYF, tell us what you're doing that's fun during EYF time. So hashtag GGKEYF fun. And that's the only event we know of at the moment. So I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
going to talk about what we are reading and watching.
So what are you reading?
I'm still reading Les Mis by Victor Hugo.
Okay.
But again, I have not gotten very far in it because
Yes.
this. Hopefully I'll have progressed a little bit in it by next week because we're taking a train journey.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot to do on trains.
Read, listen to, or
That's what I meant.
I know, I was just telling you what there is to do. Read, listen to or watch podcasts or music, and knit. That is what we do on trains. Sometimes we play games, card games, but probably not this trip. Okay, so, and I assume you're not reading anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
So what are you reading?
A lot of things. So I'm still rereading The Broken Way by Anne Voskamp, and enjoying that. I finished reading Unashamed, Drop the Baggage, Pick Up Your Freedom, Fulfill Your Destiny by Christine Kane, and that was pretty good. So since I finished it, I started another nonfiction book. I've only read like the introduction of this. This is called Grace, Not Perfection, Celebrating Simplicity, Embracing Joy by Emily Lay. So I've just started that one. I am still rereading Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness with the Real-Time Reading Companion. We're in a bit of a break though until sometime in March. I finished reading the last book in the Anne of Green Gables series called Rilla of Ingleside by L.M. Montgomery. And I think I mentioned this last week, that it's a much different book than the other 7. I would say even that it was a character in the book, the war. So, because that impacts the entirety of the book. So, if you haven't read it before, just a heads up that it's different. It's still good. It's just different than the other ones. And then I read Off the Record by Amanda Lee. It's an Avery Shaw mystery book, number 10. It was a Kindle Unlimited one, and I've read the rest of the series. So, and then I read The Gender War by Bella Forrest, which this is the 4th book in the Gender Game series. And it's also on Kindle Unlimited, and it was really interesting. It's the one that I told you that there's the male, the patriarchy and the monarchy. Matriarchy, sorry. And what's going on between them. So that's a good one. I read A Fatal Grace by Louise Penny. This is book number 2 in the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache. How you would say that?
Armand Gamache.
Gamache series. I can't remember who, but somebody recommended this series to me, and I have them on a wish list on Amazon. And this book, the second book of the series, went on for a big sale. So even though I hadn't read the first one, I went ahead and bought this one so that I could read it, and I enjoyed it. So I'm going to watch for the rest of them to go on sale, hopefully, and be able to do that. And then, Dammy.
Yes, I see in the show notes.
You should be extremely excited. Are you?
Yes.
How excited are you?
56.
56 cups of coffee?
On an arbitrary scale.
Okay, where the points don't matter.
Yeah.
How's that go?
Where the questions are made up and the points don't matter.
That's right. I am rereading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have read it before, but it has been a number of years.
What happened? What's happened so far?
I got through the play. The opera.
Joe's operatic tragedy.
Yeah, I got through that part last night. So, I'm still pretty early on in the book.
Yes,
So,
very early.
So, but I am rereading that to make my daughter happy, and then we're going to watch, which movie are we watching?
The one with Winona Ryder.
Ah, yes, I've seen it before. It's just been a very long time. Okay, and that is everything that I am reading, have read, etc. Let's talk about some television. Because we did quite a bit of television this week because we were madly knitting on things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first up, I am rewatching season 2 of Matlock. You're kind of watching it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Try to think if there was any that wanted to talk about. Was the country singer one? Did I talk about that one last week?
No.
So there was one with a country singer and Ben and this country singer ended up doing a duet with their guitars together at the end of the episode. It was kind of sweet.
Guitars or banjos or ukuleles?
I think it was guitars. And what else? What else? There was the mob one that was a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anyway, those are just kind of interesting to rewatch. So Dammy, you want to talk about the next one?
Yes, we finished watching season 1 of a series of unfortunate events.
Yes. I liked the llamas in Peru.
Yes.
Yes.
And my theory about the parents was right.
Okay, so if you have not watched this and don't want to be spoiled...
Or if you have not read the books. Because...
Yeah, so if you haven't read the books or you haven't watched this and you are concerned with spoilers, you should fast forward a little bit. Okay, Dammy, go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so the parents that they kept showing in the episodes...
Colby Smulders, and I don't remember the guy's name.
Will Arnett.
Yes, Will Arnett.
Yeah, they weren't the Baudelaire parents, they were the Quagmire parents.
Yes. And I was
so,
just... Yeah. I was going to say this song, Look Away, Look Away. It's in my head, like on repeat. Neil Patrick Harris is in my head. Were you going to say something else about your theory?
well, so the next one is the Austere Academy, and so the Baudelaires are going to make friends with Isadora and Duncan.
Yeah, because that's how it ended, was at the academy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's already, you said it's already been renewed for another season?
Yes.
Okay,
For
good.
10 episodes.
Ooh, yay,
So
instead of
that's-
8.
Yeah, so that's books 5 to 9.
Okay.
And then there's probably going to be a third season for 10 to 13. That's what Daniel Handler said. So,
And he was in it. He was the fish head sailor.
roly-poly fish heads!
So how many books are there? Are there 13?
Yes.
So-
So then season 3 would be 8 episodes again, probably, for 10 to 13.
So is he going to write any more, or is he done? Has he said?
The books?
Mm-hmm. Is he going to write any more books?
Yeah, I don't think so,
Okay.
because I think he's stopped. I think that series, like, ended 10 years ago.
Okay, I just didn't know if, since it had gotten picked up on Netflix and was doing so well, if he was going to write any additional books.
He's written other books besides
Right.
a series of unfortunate events. But yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
I think
So it would need to end at the end of season 3 unless they just like made up stuff.
Yes, and the last book is actually called The End.
Dun dun dun. Duh. Okay, well since we finished watching that, what have we started rewatching?
Eureka! A sci-fi original series.
Yes. Saul Rubin was in the episode.
Rubinek.
Ruben Neck was in the episode we watched
From Warehouse 13.
last night, and
That was still on when we were first podcasting.
it was, and there's lots of crossover between Warehouse 13 and Eureka.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember this. They Sci-Fi likes their series.
Oh. I don't know that it like was like major impact. I mean, I think it was just like one-offs, you know, where it. I mean, like for example, Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. I mean, you needed to watch them concurrently, or Buffy and Angel. But this, I don't think they would need to be watched concurrently because I don't think it has like a massive effect. So we're watching that, rewatching that. The Hubs and I are still rewatching season 3 of Lost. We're almost to the end of season 3. I think we have 2 episodes, but major things that happened in the episode we watched last night is that John Locke met Jacob, who was not cast at that point. So it's somebody else as the body of Jacob, and it was one of the producers that did the voice. Help me, is what he said.
Why did he say that?
Well, you'll just have to wait and find out. I don't really remember.
And how did Locke's father get to the island?
From the magic box, but Ben shot Locke and threw him in a
Ditch.
mass grave. So Ben lied to everyone.
Surprise, surprise.
He claimed that he was born on the island, but he was not. He came to the island when he was 8 years old with his father.
He met Guy Liner. I saw Guy Liner.
Yes.
Does he age?
No. So Guy Liner is part of the others. But they conspired, Ben conspired with the others, and they killed off all the Dharma Initiative people, including Ben's father, and dumped them all in a mass grave, except for Ben's father. They left him in the VW van that Hurley found. That was Ben's father in there. And then Ben and the others took over. Where?
And he was 8 years old?
No, as an adult.
Oh.
Like, he grew up on the island, and his dad was always angry with him because his mom died the day that Ben was born.
Oh.
And so Ben killed his dad on his birthday. On
If
Ben's
only
birthday.
he'd been loved as a child.
I know.
He would not be a murderer.
No. And then we all have all this stuff with Desmond trying to save Charlie. And then the lady parachuted onto the island. Her name's Naomi. So apparently she is from a ship like 80 miles off the away from the island, and she was in a helicopter, and she parachuted onto the island and got injured really bad. And Desmond at first thought it was Penny, but it was the lady that Penny had sent to find Desmond, because she's been searching for him. And so they hid. Some of the people on the island hid at first that she was there and kept it a secret from Jack, because Jack is involved with Juliet, who Ben is trying to get her to help him kidnap women, especially Sun, who's pregnant. But she has turned on them and she told Jack what happened, and so now all of this is coming to light. We have 2 episodes left in the season, so... Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we're watching season 14 of NCIS. Dinozo Sr., Tony's dad, who is hysterical. I love him. He is now a member of the Sherlock Consortium for Investigation, which is the same organization that Jimmy is a part of. So that was fun to have him back. I didn't realize that he was coming back onto the show. So, and then the Hubs and I are watching season 3 of NCIS New Orleans. Sebastian is now an official agent. So all that, like figuring out, how things work with a new team member, and, he's not doing the same job as he was doing in the past. So, yeah. Okay, you want to talk about the next thing?
Yes, we are watching season 4 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And so Ada was based on a real woman, and I don't know, I didn't feel like a lot happened in this episode. If I'm correct, the season finale was last night?
No, it would be tonight, sweetheart. We're recording a day early.
Tonight.
I'm looking, that's what I was looking on IMDb about. I meant to look it up. We were talking about it last week and I forgot, or during the week. Hold that thought, hold that thought. I'm looking. Oh, no. It's still got...
Oh.
No.
I don't know. It just felt like maybe is it a break?
Well, the dates on it are wrong.
Oh, those must be UK premiere dates.
Yeah. So is this the one? Yeah, that's the one we watched. So no, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more episodes according to IMDb. So it's not the setup for the finale. So the episode that'll be on tonight is The Man Behind the Shield.
Okay.
There we go.
I was wrong.
First step is admitting it. You want to talk about the next thing too?
Sure. We are watching season 12 of Bones.
Yes.
Final season. There was a lumberjack competition and murder
at the lumberjack competition, and it ended with Bones and Booth doing the log rolling competition thing with each other. So yeah. Okay. Oh wait, you're into the next one too.
Okay, season 12 of Criminal Minds. Reed is struggling with how to take care of his mom.
Yeah. So, I hope they get that figured out. Okay, I'll talk about the next story because you've been talking for a while. So, we're watching season 2 of Blind Spot. So, we found out that Shepard funded Weller's schooling. Patterson has collapsed, and we don't know what's going on with her. Shepard took Weller hostage. And what is the Truman Protocol? Stay tuned.
For scenes from our next episode.
That's right. The Hubs and I are watching season 10 of The Big Bang Theory. Sheldon was going to get to drive a train. And then there was hysterical at the end. Amy has a daydream about Sheldon driving a train. And it was really funny. Very, very funny. I'm watching season 12 of Supernatural. Dean got hexed and he forgot everything. Everything. Like even who he was and all that. But Rowena helped him get it all back.
Oh, I thought she was dead.
No, she's not dead. She is not dead. Okay. Do you want to talk about the next thing?
Sure. We are watching season 4 of Blacklist. So Terry O'Quinn was Tom's dad, but I don't ever remember him being in this show.
I don't think he has been. So this is the actor that plays John Locke on Lost. I'll look it up while you keep talking.
No, you already looked it up.
But I'm wondering if they put it in now because when I looked, it was like the day after, and sometimes it takes them a little bit to add everybody that was in the episode. But I don't think he's been in it before.
And Isabella Stone, was not who I thought she was. She destroys people by ruining their reputation.
Yeah.
And the FBI captured her, but then Reddington captured her himself.
Yes.
Ta-da.
I'm looking. He's not listed in the cast for the episode. But I'm looking him up right now just to see if he has been in it before. I don't remember him being in it. So I think this was just like the first time we ever saw, and it was only pictures, like news coverage. No, I don't see him listed, so interesting. We are watching, well, why don't you talk about the next one and then I'll talk about the last two.
Okay, we're watching season 2 of Colony. There are thousands of drones in the wall. That's a lot.
Yes, thousands and thousands. Okay, we're watching season 6 of Grimm. All those drawings, that Diana was doing and that Eve was drawing on the tunnel walls, they are a calendar that is predicting something is going to happen on the 24th of March.
I bet that's when their season finale is.
I don't know, but stay tuned. And then we're watching series 6 of Call the Midwife, and Sheila was able to hear the baby's heartbeat, and she's able to go home. But this was, Call the Midwife is just an emotional show anyway. But the lady that she was in the hospital with, losing her third baby, and it made me so mad at the doctor because if he had just done the procedure a day earlier, the baby would most likely have survived. And they hired a new midwife. It's the lady that helped when there was the explosion. She's a nurse. She was a nurse in the war. And so they've hired her. And we still don't know about Sister Mary Cynthia. That's everything that we've watched this week. It was a lot. Like we said, we've been doing a lot of knitting while we're watching TV. And Dammy's very carefully doing a cable right now.
No, I'm undoing it because I did it wrong.
Oh, she's undoing the cable. So I'm going to say let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our Winter Wonderland Cal.
Yes. So this started the 1st of December and it's running through the 28th of this month. The calendar still says January.
We're halfway through February.
I know, but you've been knitting book samples. So today's the 14th. So you have 2 weeks from today.
Hey, we're halfway through February.
Oh my gosh. This month is just flying by. So this is for any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to winter. Your fallback is...
You made it in the winter.
There we go. No whips are allowed, so you have to start your project December 1st or later and finish by the end of February. Feel free to poly dip in other cowls. That's totally fine. We've got lots of lovely prizes that are on the screen right now. If you'd like to know more about these prizes, including photos and links to the appropriate shops,
geekygirlsknit.com.
you go to there and that you'll find that. I didn't say that. It's okay. You know what I mean. Thank you so much to all our sponsors. We love you guys a lot. Thanks for supporting our podcast. Every project you finish and post in the FO thread is one entry into the giveaways. You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit Ravelry group, podcast group on Ravelry to participate. My brain. The hashtag is GGKWW1617. We'll lock the thread the morning of the 1st of March and then draw winners on the next podcast after that. If you are a winner, you have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it. Which reminds me, what was the cowl that we just finished?
Like Christmas?
Yes. We still have it.
Well, just finished? Well, yes.
That was the most recent one. We still have some outstanding prizes for that. So if you participated in the White Christmas cowl, you should go back and watch the prize announcements. There is a chatter thread in the Ravelry group to encourage each other. And that's where Dammy gives you a shout out when you finish projects. But then we also give you a shout out on the podcast. So Dammy, who are we shouting out to today?
Artist Maybe, AZ Knitwit, Bindi J, Kathy KC9EOW, CJ Bullion, Crochet Chick 31, DG White, Eileen D, Eleanor Gamgee, Philippa MC, Frymeister, Gracie Liss, Ingard Stoka, Jamintinit, JP Music 15, J Thismay, K2P2 Mama, Katie Knits Crazy 15, Karenina 4777, Knit Central, Knit Princess 83, Lady M, Little Angel SG2, Mama Bug 89, Mantha Mac, Minerva's Bliss, Muzzer Z, Piper's Mom, Saratoga Knitting, Skyly Knits, Sunday Tea Time, Sweet Cakes, Sylvia 1002, The VFB, Weeping Wool, and Whistlin' Liz.
Great job, everybody. So get those projects finished up. You have 2 weeks to get them posted, and you might be a prize winner. All right, let's talk about our other cowl.
And now we're going to talk about our For the Love of Socks cowl.
Yes, I'm so excited about this cowl. It's so much fun. So it started on the 1st of February and it runs through the 31st of March. It's for any finished sock project, and a project is 2 socks. So it must be a pair of socks to be entered. All the details about the points for this are in episode 227 at the 40-minute, 28-second mark. We're not going to hash them out again because you can just go watch that. But in the kind of an overview is you have one post in the FO thread and you post all your stuff in that one post. And you keep a running total of your points and your yardage because you get bonus points for yardage. This is one cowl that whips are allowed in, but you had to have finished 50% or less as of the 1st of February. And for the yardage, you only get to count the yardage that you did February 1st and after. There's all kind of bonus points, and we have some lovely sponsors who can help you get extra bonus points. 2 new ones are Pumpkin 97 Designs. She has a couple of sock patterns. And Suburban Stitcher donated a prize, which I'll talk about in just a minute. In fact, let's see. Feel free to poly dip in other cowls, including our seasonal ones, as long as it meets the rules. We have lots of lovely prizes that are on the screen right now. A humongous thank you to all of our sponsors. And if you want to see pictures of the prizes and links to the shops, you can go to
geekygirlsknit.com.
And we talk about them in detail on the first podcast of the month. But we have 2 new prizes that I want to mention. The first is a copy of the Norman's Socks pattern by Pumpkin 97 Designs. That's Erin, who is Pumpkin 97 on Ravelry. It's really cute. It's got hearts on it. So I felt it was especially appropriate with Valentine's Day. And then Diane, who is DBB Stitch on Ravelry of the Suburban Stitcher, donated this skein of Suburban Stitcher sock yarn. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. This is her Rainbow Along 2017 colorway. Oh my gosh, it's got all the colors of the rainbow in it, and it's so yummy and it's so soft. Did you squeeze this?
Yes.
It's so soft. And she also included a little package of the bulb locking stitch markers. So her shop on Etsy is Suburban Stitcher. And so thank you so much, Diane, for this new prize. So So every point that you earn gets you one entry into the giveaways, and we also have two grand prizes, one for the person with the highest number of points and one for the person who knits the highest amount of yardage, but you can only win one prize overall. Okay? You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast group on Ravelry to participate. If you have any questions about how to post your FOs, PM Dammy. Who are you?
Dammy Stoodles.
Yes. Or post in the chatter thread and we can help you. But it's your responsibility to update your FO post to have your total of points and your yardage total. We won't be going back in and editing that for you. So there's just too much to do that. The hashtag is hashtag GGK Love of Socks Cal. We'll lock the FO thread the morning of the 1st of April and draw winners on the podcast after that. And you'll have 30 days to claim your prize if you are a winner. And we are just going to do a shout out at the end of each month to everyone who has entered FOs. Because otherwise it's going to be a mess to keep up with because people are updating their FO posts. And so we'll just do that at the end of each month. So you should definitely join in on the fun. Sock knitting is so amazing. And thanks for participating with us. There is a chatter thread if you want to talk or show your stuff in progress. There's lots of lovely projects that have been shared in there. So, for the Love of Socks, Cal. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we answer them.
I finished the heel. Yay. Okay, so this week's question is from Alyssa, who is A.A. Lauzon. Is that how you'd say it? From Massachusetts. And the question is for you, Dammy. The full question, and then we can deal with each part, is, Dammy, as a fellow Hamilton geek, have you listened to the Hamilton mixtape yet? What did you think? Do you have a favorite song? Are there any you liked more than the originals? Have you listened?
Yes.
Okay. What did you think overall of it?
Well, I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. I don't think that there are any that I liked more than the originals. Not to say that they're bad, but like, it's kind of a different genre a little bit because like the cast album is like people acting the songs, and this is people singing the songs.
Right, it's like musicians, you know, like The Roots, Regina Spektor, Kelly Clarkson, etc. Sia, yeah. So there's lots of them that did it. So this Hamilton mixtape has like these remakes with artists doing this, but there's also some songs that did not make it into Hamilton that we get the demos of from Lin-Manuel. Okay, so one thing I'm going to say before we talk a little bit more about this is there are two different versions of the mixtape. There is one that has some explicit language and there's one that's a clean version. So in the show notes, I have linked to both of them. So if you're going to listen around your kids and that's something you're concerned about, you're going to want to do the clean version instead of the explicit version. Okay, so that out there. Okay, so Dammy, what are some of your favorites from this?
I liked Regina Spektor's version of Dear Theodosia.
Yeah, I did. I like that one too. It's one of my favorites.
And
what was your favorite demo that didn't make it into it? Do you remember?
Actually, my favorite,
I know it's so hard to pick because there's so many good ones.
Cabinet Battle 3 is good.
Yeah, it is good. My very, very favorite is Jimmy Fallon and the Roots doing You'll Be Back. Oh my gosh. Laughed so hard every time I hear that one. And I also liked the Regina Spektor one. I liked It's Quiet Uptown by Kelly Clarkson. I don't know. They're all really, really good. I really enjoyed them all. So, is there anything else you want to say about the mixtape?
Nope.
It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
In fact, as we were just talking about the question before we started recording it, I was like, we need to really listen to that again because it's really good. So,
if I play it for you again, will you listen to the Great Comic Cast album when it comes out?
Sure.
Yes, it will have Josh Groban in it.
I like Josh
playing
Groban.
the accordion.
I love Josh Groban. He's a favorite of mine.
And the piano.
Yes. So did we answer Alyssa's question?
I think so.
I think we did. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
You should go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. All right, well, we have a review to do, so let's move on to the next segment.
And now we have a review.
We are so excited about this book. This is the Heart on My Sleeve book. And by the time the podcast goes live, this will be live. But we were very fortunate to be gifted a draft copy of it so that we could look at it. And so we're going to get to share it with you. So this book has some of our favorite designers in it. This is a collaboration between Tin Can Knits, Shannon Cook, Romy Hill, Bristol Ivy, Tanis Lavelle, Hoya Locatelli, Jane Richmond, and Isolde Teague. So this is an ebook that releases today, and it is a charity, a thing. So it is all the proceeds from the sale of this ebook, other than Ravelry and PayPal fees, is going to be going to the Against Malaria Foundation. This book will be available for only 1 year. So what they said in this is they chose to donate to Against Malaria because the need spoke to each of the designers personally. Malaria is a preventable disease. No one needs to die from it, yet thousands of small children and pregnant women die of it every day. It's relatively cheap to prevent. Every ebook sold and every dollar you donate counts towards saving lives and improving economies. And just some facts about malaria that I didn't even totally realize. At least 1 million people die from malaria each year. Some estimates are even as high as 2.7 million people dying. Bed nets are the best prevention, and they cost $2.50 US dollars each. 70% of the deaths are children under the age of 5. And 90% of the deaths are in sub-Saharan Africa. So this is really a great thing that they are doing. So this book is so cool. The sun is like giving me like this weird halo off the side of my head. This book includes 8 sweater patterns, but they're all DK weight yarn, and they all have the same general format. So you've got a sleeve pattern and a body pattern, and then the designers then design like yoke detail or like sleeve detail. So there's different, you can mix and match these things, and they're so cool. So there's 8 patterns that we'll talk about. So, and it's got a really cool flow chart to tell you how to use the book, which is really cool. I'm trying not to give anything away. And all of them are knit on US 4's 3.5 mil and US 6 4 mil needles, or what you need to get gauge. But it's got details like, it shows you like for what size you're doing, what measurements they are, and the basic yardage amounts are in this chart. So, and all of the sweaters go from 0 to 6 month all the way to adult 4XL, which is just like how Tin Can Knits does it. And then there's details on if there's like contrasting colors, what you need on it. So we've got a sleeve pattern. There's a 3/4 length or a long sleeve pattern. And then there's a basic body pattern with optional waist shaping. And then also some designers designed heart motifs that you could use to decorate your sleeves. So like there's this backstitch heart by Hoya Locatelli. I don't want to show the patterns, but there's like go back. There's a Fair Isle heart pattern. There's a duplicate stitch heart pattern. There's a lace heart pattern. There's a purled heart pattern. And then we mentioned all the designers already. So, okay, here's the first pattern. This is Wholehearted by Bristol Ivy. So you can see the detail that is done here on the yoke. So it features a large-scale motif that's architectural, but at the same time subtle and organic. And the yoke is knit sideways to the sleeve and body stitches, shaped with short rows and decreases. So it's really, really cool. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say about that one?
No.
Okay. Then the next pattern. How fun is that? It gives it so many different looks. This is Crazy Heart by Tanis Lavelle of Tanis Fiber Arts. Is that how you would say her name?
Lavelli or Lavelle.
Okay. You know I'm not great with names. So this is, it's a bright, bold geometric yoke that you can like do in so many different ways. How fun is this? I love how, you know, it's the same pattern, but it's just done different ways. And I especially like these ones that they did stripes on the body. Oh, there's so many cute patterns or pictures that they do. And like they give you like color suggestions, like different concepts that you can do. This might be my favorite.
I like this one too.
Yeah. So this is Hearthstone by Isolde Teague, and it's got cables that delineate the raglan lines of the sweater. Oh, I love this one so much. Oh, there's so many great pictures. It's just so beautiful. There's like from up top. So there's lots of charts because you need that to get the details. Oh, I just love it. I think this is so beautiful.
I like this one a lot too.
Yeah. So here we go. This is Lionheart by Shannon Cook and Jane Richmond, and it's knit with a longer body to maximize the cozy feel of the sweater, and it includes a hoodie to wear it.
A hood.
A hood to make it a hoodie. How cute is this little one? Oh my gosh. And there it is on an adult. I love the sleeve detail. There's a better picture of the sleeve detail. Maybe. Did I pass it? There we go. So it's folded. It's a folded, and then you do a you knit the live stitches together with the cast on edge to make it. I can't think of the right name for it. It's so pretty. I love that one a lot. Okay, and then here's the next one. I love the sleeves on this one too. This is Bright Heart by Rami Hill.
You can zoom in.
I know, but I can just show them like that. It's so pretty. And then there's the detail on the yoke. Oh, look at this little one. Oh, so sweet. So sweet. There we go. So I like this one quite a lot too. I love especially the sleeve detail. Okay, this might be their favorite. Go ahead.
I like this one too.
The sun is doing weird things. So sorry. Okay, yeah, this one. Oh my gosh. This is Heartstring by Joji Locatelli. So it's adorned with delicate lines of stitching inspired by Japanese sashiko style embroidery. Oh my gosh. Oh, and look at this wee baby. That's Nev. Emily of Tin Can Knits, new little babe. How sweet is this? So what happens actually in the yoke is you are weaving the contrast color in to give that detail. It's not that like sewn in after. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. Oh, good. There's the sun's going kind of away a little bit. I love this one so much. I think I need to make this one. Okay, and then here is the next one. It's another Fair Isle pattern. This is Tender Heart by Alexa Ludman of Tin Can Knits. It's crisp geometric motifs in a striking high contrast color pairing. Look at the sweet heart on the sleeves.
Heart on the sleeves.
Heart on my sleeve, yep. Oh, that's so pretty. All that snow. So again, this one's a pretty heavily charted one to do that. Then here is the next one. This is Iron Heart by Emily Wessel of Tin Can Knits. It's a boldly textured lace motif, organic and botanical on a garter stitch background. So it's really pretty on the sleeve. I really like that one. It's so pretty. It looks so cozy. Oh, look at that. It's so sweet. And again, it's a pretty heavily charted one. And that's the last one in the book. What are your thoughts?
I liked it.
I do too. There is a knit along that you can join in on. Hashtag Heart on My Sleeve Knits. And like I said, this is releasing today on February 14th, and it's for a great cause. And there's lots of great patterns, and I just love how you can like mix and match stuff with it. And it's the same basic, and it uses all the same weight of yarn and same needles. So I think this is going to be a pretty popular one. So go get your ebook copy of this. You don't want to miss out, and it's a great way to donate to a charity that is doing a lot in this world. So again, that was Heart on My Sleeve by Tin Can Knits, Shannon Cook, Rami Hill, Bristol Ivy, Tanis Lavelli.
Yeah.
Okay. Hohi Locatelli, Jane Richmond, and Isolde Teague. And thank you so much to them for gifting us a copy so that we could review it for you. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
Hang on.
Sorry, the sun is like doing majorly weird things, but this is the end of the podcast. So, a reminder, make sure and get your pre-orders for the Coffee with Cece book. You can go to
coffeewithcc.com.
That's right. A reminder that we are having a giveaway for this gorgeous project bag from Kate of Fibrary. She's on Etsy, and this one is inspired by a quote from Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. I don't feel very much like Pooh today, said Pooh. There, said Piglet. I'll bring you tea and honey until you do. And so we've got tea pots, and then it's got this vegan leather bottom, and there is a pocket, a notions pocket inside. We reviewed this last week in the podcast, but we will be giving away this one next week in episode 231. So if you have not entered, go to our Ravelry group and enter. You must be a member of the group to be eligible to win. Mm-hmm. Anything else, Dammy, other than our normal stuff?
Nope.
Thanks so much to everyone who supports the podcast, whether it's financially, by donating prizes, giving us reviews on iTunes. Thank you for supporting us. If you'd like to support the podcast financially, there's 3 ways you can do it. First up is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount each month to your favorite creatives, and you are eligible for rewards based on the level you donate at. If you would like to sign up to do that or get more info, go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit. No, that just made it worse.
No, but you know what this reminds me of? From Doctor Who, Rose and the Doctor on each on opposite sides of the wall. Oh. Guess what?
What?
Missy is coming back to Doctor Who.
Ooh.
In April. April's when the new episodes come. Okay, there's 2 other ways. You want to tell them? Sorry, that just popped in my head.
Sure. There is a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you'd like to donate. You've got me off track.
You'd like to make a one-time donation.
That thing.
Yes. And then if you're shopping on Amazon.com or .co.uk, if you click through our website first, Amazon gives us a little money back based on what you buy. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast while doing something you were going to be doing already. Most, if not all of that money goes towards shipping out prices, because shipping is expensive. So if you'd like more details on any of this, or you'd like to find us online, where should they go, Dammy?
geekygirlsknit.com, and there are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We have lots to do to get ready to leave for the photo shoot tomorrow. So we hope you have a great rest of your week. Happy knitting, and make sure and tell someone in your life that you love them on this special Valentine's Day. I love you, Dammy.
I love you.
All right. So, see you next week. Bye. Dammy, why don't you want to look at me? I'm not going to look at you. You can't see me. Are we like fading away into nothingness?
Relatable.